we're here with a nations match between Team Philippines and Team Malaysia. I'm Stinky Pie. I'm joined by Dom and a couple of others. Maybe not a couple of others. Anyway, Philippines, Malaysia, arguably the two strongest countries in Dota and C. Can't really think of any other countries that beat them. I mean, like, who else do you have? Indonesia has like one player.
Actually, I was gonna say Singapore has a lot of talent, I want to say.
Well, okay, first of all, I do tend to confuse a lot of Singaporean players and Malaysian players, which I know is a bit racist.
Bruh.
But, so like, Ice Ice Ice, is he Malaysian or Singaporean?
I'm almost certain he's Singaporean.
I'm actually gonna look that up now. Ice,
He's Singaporean. Come on, bro.
Okay.
The most high-profile Malaysian player I know is VT Faded. No, Mid One, VT Faded, and X Nova in PSG. Those are the only high-profile Malaysians I know.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so maybe Singapore has Malaysia beat there. We'll see. We'll see. Obviously, both these guys going into this match, a lot to prove.
Yeah? Thank you, Sven. A lot to prove.
I mean, I've actually been playing on a Smurf, and believe me, you do not want a techies in your Smurf game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, none of the bans are anything surprising, to be fair.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty standard.
I mean, Disruptor, even after the nerfs, because like a patch and a half ago, he was like mega strong, but he got hit pretty hard. At least the ultimate got hit really hard.
Yeah,
I guess they still think he's sort of top tier pick.
I mean, even though you don't really see Disruptor much, or Lich much even, like, I'm still not surprised about the picks. I think they're still pretty open to like any strat.
This kind of makes it less open though, right? Or is Earthshaker played in anything other than 4 these days? Is that?
Actually, I don't really see it as 3. I only see it as a 4 nowadays. So that,
like, unless you're playing against something like a Phantom Lancer, I just don't really feel, you know, a Centaur Warrunner, for example, much more stable. You're always going to be useful as a Centaur free, but Earthshaker free is kind of hit and miss sometimes.
Yeah. Even like Shaker against PL doesn't even feel that good, to be honest. Like, realistically, when are you gonna echo a PL like when it matters? I like
5 seconds remaining.
No, I know what you're saying. It's like, it's great for the highlight reel, but you know, can you really count on it that much of the time?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it does much against PL. No.
Whereas I feel like the, you know, with the Earthshaker as a support, you know, doing early things with, you know, your Fitcher, which at the end of the day is just a very long stun from a very long range, and it creates terrain. It's hard to argue with that, but when you play him as a free, it's more about that, you know, maxing out the aftershock, things like that. But Night Stalker here,
that one's a bit weird. What am I looking at? I mean, I'm looking at Shaker Night Stalker. That feels like a lot of. It feels like catch. Like if you're really out of position, you get caught really hard. But then they have a Centaur war on it. Like,
yeah, and nothing like the Disruptor to pull people back. So
exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the Night Stalker pick. It's a bit weird.
Oh, I got one for you. What do you call a Night Stalker who harasses during early lane?
Daywalker,
Day trader.
bro.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's a
That's
good
an
one.
original one, actually.
Uh,
Somewhat proud of that. It got like 18 upvotes on Reddit.
I don't like the ban on the AM. I feel like if they had,
Dire
I
team
feel like if they did pick an AM, actually it'll be better for Dire. Like if
Okay, but
Raiden picked an
again,
AM.
the centaur does come into play.
That's facts, but I feel like you have enough. Actually, that's a bit contradictory, huh?
Well,
But like,
so what I'm saying is that, yeah, Night Stalker is great against Anti-Mage if you just, swoop in from the trees
10
and,
seconds
he's
remaining.
silenced, you can't do anything unless he has a BKB, but if you buy BKB as AM,
5
you're never really in a
seconds
great
remaining.
position, right?
yeah,
But then you have the Centaur to bail you out in that case. So, given that there's a Centaur, maybe the Night Stalker doesn't actually counter the AM. And, maybe you're just left with the Earthshaker. And, I don't know, instant disable on the Earthshaker. You have to start with the Echo. It takes a lot of confidence.
yeah.
The
Thinking what
Mirana
Dire
is
would
very
go for.
interesting for me, though.
I don't like Mirana as a hero nowadays. I've seen it a lot. Like some people playing it too. I've actually seen a couple of people play it too. I really don't like it.
What's the build?
I can't remember, but it's almost like the standard Mirana that you used to go for back in the day. Like I think it was like a right-clicky build.
Okay, so probably Tread's got
Radiant
buffed, so most
team
people
pick.
run
Tread's
Treads
the
these
buff
days.
trigger hard, yeah.
And then the Fusel or Maelstrom, I guess. Because the thing about Mirana is that you're kind of bad against Night Stalker too, right? The guy just runs at you, silences you, and you pretty much have to BKB because you're not leaping out of that.
Yeah, but looking at their draft, it's probably a 4 Mirana, right?
10 seconds remaining.
I wouldn't like it going in a core position.
5 seconds
I mean,
remaining.
4 Mirana is very literally hit and miss. You're either the single most impactful player on the map, or you're just
there for a
outrageous.
moonlight.
Yeah, pretty much. Global movement speed buff, can't beat that.
Not like we
Wait,
have
hold
a
on, the
centaur.
Centaur already does that.
I'm actually starting to doubt this Mirana pick a lot. I don't know.
A Troll Warlord here is interesting, though, because I would actually say this is a pretty bad lineup to play Troll Warlord into.
Why? Why would you say that?
I mean, as Troll,
team back.
one of the worst things that can happen to you is an
Team
instant
back.
silence if you don't have BKB. And there's
That is
practically no cast.
bad.
I think there is 0.1 second cast time on all of Disruptor's spells. The guy silences you just when you want to press your ult. And it's like, okay, well, you're probably going to have to build BKB on the Troll Warlord at some point, right? But that just feels... It feels
earlier-
like...
10 seconds
The
remaining.
earlier you build it, the worse it feels.
Exactly. And you have to build it
5
early against the
seconds
Disruptor, I
remaining.
think.
But right now, I don't really see a way for... Actually, how I imagine the fight's going is... They're not...
Radiant
I know in
team
theory they can kite the trolls battle trance, but some part of me doesn't think that's gonna happen. I think all the spells capable for kiting the troll, like basically the centaur, I don't think they're gonna be able to kite him, just because I feel like the fights are gonna be
10
so that
seconds remaining.
the centaur will never have his stampede.
5
I mean,
seconds
For-
Team
for
Malaysia
the-
right now have a very run-at-you lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Almost literally too. Yeah.
You've got the Lich, you put the Lich shield on anyone and he just runs at people, and what are you going to do to the guy? You can glimpse him back, but then the other guy runs in.
Yeah. I'm... I don't know.
Dire team pick.
But that is one solution. If they run at you, just let them run at you. You run at me, I take your damage.
Oh man, Razor, that's a pretty... If I was in Team Malaysia right now, I'd be like, ah, shit.
Maybe you should have banned that out.
Yeah. But they banned an OD, which is fair. I think banning OD is fair, but yeah, Razor is a
5
tough one
seconds
to deal with.
remaining.
Yeah, the OD ban does make sense. Obviously, you're just talking about the kiting there, but then you've got cute things like the combo of Mirana from the Astral, which can be annoying.
Yeah. I think that the team Malaysia needs some burst. Their only burst comes from Shaker and Lich, I
Yeah.
guess. But how impactful is that gonna be when those are just supports, you know?
Yeah. And I guess burst is, not necessarily just in terms of damage, but also that initiation, right?
Yeah. Mm,
Or maybe something like the more just stand in front sort of thing.
maybe, I guess. But I find it hard for Dire to fight when it's daytime. I don't see them fighting in the daytime.
That is
Now
true.
select your heroes.
I mean, there you go. There's your
So
burst.
actually, I was thinking of Storm, but I was wondering if they should pick it because there's a disruptor.
I mean that it fits what you were looking for, right? You get that burst damage, obviously,
You
but
get
that burst initiation, just
initiation,
the way to
too.
start fights almost instantly, other than the Earthshaker.
Yeah, but to be fair, like I don't like the idea of a Storm Spirit initiating fights. It generally feels kind of bad. Like I would playing as a Storm Spirit, I would want my team to initiate first.
No, I know what you
before I go
mean.
in.
You need
Yeah.
to have a lot of faith in the rest of your team when you play a Storm Spirit and you're the first one going in.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
if things go south, my team will on me out, which is not impossible, but it just takes that confidence. Which
Yeah.
I don't know if a team like a team thrown together, yeah, a team thrown together. I don't know if they have that sort of coordination.
You can only hope.
I mean, would you call this a well coordinated team for either side, really?
I mean, this is probably just gonna end up like a freaking in-house or something. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. Team probably.
Like, I think whichever team is ahead is going to have problems closing it out. Because, I mean, the Troll Warlord's pretty good at hitting towers. The Juggernaut's not bad either, but you don't really have that sort of Death Prophet or Leshrac or Pugna level tower takers. Nothing like a Lycan.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's anything too crazy for the lanes. I think everything's as expected.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's hard for either team to like completely shut down each other in the laning stage though. Like a Lich Troll, I don't think they're gonna struggle
30
against
seconds to battle.
Centaur Mirana, but I don't think Centaur Mirana are gonna struggle against Lich Troll either.
Yeah.
Vice versa for the opposite side. Like, yeah, I feel like this game's gonna be pretty passive in the first like 10 minutes. It's gonna be like 2 kills on each side.
I mean, probably barring any big arrows hitting, which is definitely possible. We see the center here actually level 1 stomp into the arrow. Now the Razor from the high ground getting that suck. Of course, they get the rune there too, but this might be first blood just like that. One more right click and they do secure that one.
False view.
So
Prove me wrong in the first 12 seconds.
Well, no, I mean you're only 25% into being wrong. Well, we'll find out the rest later. A very interesting Fisher block there, which is counterproductive when you have your Night Stalker blocking the creeps himself. But I think
mean,
they
it does end up
about getting
going
on there to tower, so it does work out there. bruh here nearly had a bruh moment. I literally spent half my mana pool to try and make the creeps go into their tower, and you're blocking my creeps. But they do get it successfully. The Juggernaut did pick up 3 of those last hits, though, which is almost as good as you can hope for, really. So it doesn't look like it's off to a bad start, but now the wave will be pushing in. King here is taking a lot of damage, actually. Is he just going to go down? He's forced to throw out the fish, and he still dies. He uses 100% of his mana pool, and he still died. Well, I mean, at least he's dead now, so he gets to return with full mana.
I mean, he is a shaker. There was not much he could do there. Like,
Yeah, just maximize EXP for your Night Stalker, and hopefully he can get something done at nighttime.
yeah.
Not so fast.
Mid lane's looking pretty even in terms of the last hits. Maybe a slight advantage there for the Storm Spirit, but he's taking a lot of damage for it, which is kind of what you expect. I think just fundamentally Razor is slightly longer range, and you're long enough to not be eating remnants the whole time. Eventually you get a lot of stick charges too, so...
Storm Spirit might as well be a melee hero. That's how almost every other mid laner looks at Storm.
And I mean,
Melee
Razor does
hero.
love playing game melee heroes.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It is pretty even though, because I don't know, maybe in theory the Razor should be able to suck the Storm off, but you take a lot of damage trying to do it.
Yeah. Which I think is worth it if you have a bunch of salves to sort of tank through. If you can secure, you know, a whole wave of last hits and denies, I think it is actually fine to do that. But the circumstances have to be right. We are getting a bit of that suck action right now. Actually, Seri is just getting sucked the whole way. That was a full duration suck. So much damage there on the Razor, but
High
actually
up is
running into
dead.
tower, he's just gonna die. So much for that. What can I say?
That's a bit clowny, isn't it?
I mean, it's also pretty funny looking at the Storm Spirit try to last hit with positive 2 damage.
Radiant's
That's
middle
a
tower
range
is
creep
under
on, you know? 10%
That's
HP
true.
and he can't even scratch it. It's
But the
regening
Storm-
more HP than he damages it for.
That's true. But the Storm, look at the CS. The Razor is still ahead, and the Storm has no regen. So
Yeah.
right now the Storm's gonna be sitting in the lane for like another half a minute, not able to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think dying is that bad. Because
Yeah.
you get a free base, now you've got a bottle on the Razor. You know, we're talking about just sustaining through the Storm's damage top lane. The root comes out very early on onto the Centaur Warrunner, the Fervor stacks building up as well. Mirana trying to go for the dive there, nearly ended up in a very similar situation to the Razor. Might still go down to the Troll Warlord, but he's kind of getting kited here.
Ooh, the
Didn't really
jukes.
have the vision. And now the Centaur, having healed back up with his salve, is right back in action. We'll see if Erlich can
The
get
Shaker
through that
rotation
healing
mid, though.
action too, or whether he'll just
That
rely on
looks.
this
I think
Hex.
that's a kill. Maybe not underestimate. Did he get sucked already? Huh.
It's a pretty long cooldown early on. I think once you max it out, you actually get, you know, a decent uptime on it. But early on, it's down more than it's up, even if you get the full suck.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And overall, looking at the CS, nothing too crazy, I guess. You definitely have a bit of that advantage mid lane. Courier
Dire's
gonna be
turret
sniped here,
has been
TP out
killed.
from the Mirana. Does leave us with this 1 versus 1 lane, but I think that is almost always worth it early on. I would even prefer a courier kill to a hero kill, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, first nighttime does fall. Hellbear Smasher does its clap. Just as
Storm
the Night
is
Stalker runs
6.
off, you won't be getting any of that EXP. A bit of a rotation coming around here from the Earthshaker. He's got the boots, he's got the windlace, he's nice and fast. But how do you engage onto a Razor? He's about to hit level 6, actually. I think level 6 Razor becomes infinitely more scary. And there you go, that's the level
Yeah.
6. They are
it's
paying
so
it
much
too.
fun.
I think he does realize that the Earthshaker's missing, but how do you approach this, if at all? Alright, he is going to approach it. He's got a pretty good angle for the block here. Storm Spirit bowling on forward. Can we get a suck started?
He's out of
No,
mana.
Not actually. That's really your one major defense there is that suck, but unable to get it started due to that chain lock with the damage coming in from the out of the storm. The bottle charge,
Oh.
my goodness. He very nearly died there, but the matter
Oh?
of fact is he has survived, and now the support's coming in there. Not enough mana for that glimpse, but they might just get the
Yeah,
get
he's
the job
dead.
done with
Yeah.
good old-fashioned right clicks and that.
That is really rough.
So that is the worst case scenario.
Dire's middle tower
The
is under
absolute
attack.
worst case scenario.
I was about to comment on the Storm's build. Like, I don't see why he would go for a level 2 Remnant, because it's not like it's gonna hit the Razor anyway.
Well, the one situation where it would hit is when you have a lot of stuns actually top lane. Arrow gonna miss, but that doesn't matter. They will be able to take down the Centaur in the end. Can they trade back? Yes, they can. So that's a 2-for-1 there. The position 1 going down, as well as expending his TP mid lane. We have a zip coming forward. It's the level 4 Disruptor against the level 7 now. Storm Spirit expending the last of his mana. They're popping a Mango as well, I believe, to get that kill, but he does get it and does escape with his life. And in fact, gonna go and steal some enemy creeps, which is great. Ooh, Arcane
at
Ring.
the net worth.
Gonna want that. Gonna want that for sure.
That Razor is really far ahead of the Storm.
Yeah.
That was a pretty tough lane too.
I mean, it's not just about the net worth. It's just what does this hero do at the moment? And right now, the Razor, you got that maxed out static link. He can actually run into any lane he wants and find kills. I think, other than maybe bot lane.
Yeah, that's fair. I think even when it's daytime, you can for sure kill the Night Stalker with the help of the Disruptor, I think.
Yeah, nothing too crazy done by this Night Stalker just yet, but he is getting good EXP, which is always important. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to pop that ult, get a kill on one of the supports if he can, and well, we might just be seeing it here. Disruptor just hitting level 5, loses half of his HP to 1 Void and like 4 right clicks. Arrow coming in, Night Stalker will see that will not be caught there, just as Juggernaut hits Omni Slash level. Well, the Night Stalker is actually pretty tanky, especially with those phase boots. Now he's running 10 armor, almost 1k HP, so I do not think he dies to an Omni Slash here. We might actually just find out. Long Glimpse is going to put him back. The spin there doing some good damage, because it is magical, but just a little too fast there on the Night Stalker. And I mean, he's probably thinking, haha, nice try trying to kill a Night Stalker during nighttime. Got some stacking action going on in the jungle here. I do like seeing that. The Storm Spirit's gonna have a tough time in lanes. You just head him off into the jungle. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a Stampede, and it was used bottom lane. They have found one in the Lich up top as well.
Dire's bottom tower
So, extracting pretty good value out of that one spell. And so much for the Night Stalker not dying. And that's actually a pretty big kill, taking down the Night Stalker. He's not getting levels. Obviously, you heard his net worth, but
Dire's bottom tower is
maybe you
under
can come back, do something. He's at risk of being Long Glimpse back, actually. I would have loved to see that Long Glimpse. If you had just popped the Clarity a little bit earlier, popped the Stick Charge maybe, or just had the Mango in his inventory. Could have done the Long Glimpse out of TP.
What do you think about the blink queue up on the Night Stalker?
A gift from the tempest of battle. Gold is a great conductor.
I think it's fine if you can get the right angle.
Stupendous.
But it pretty much... It's useless during day, right? That's just the
Yeah.
end of it.
But to be fair, I actually like it a lot because, like I said, right, I don't like Storm Spirit being the ones initiating.
Yeah.
And well, it's kind of hard for an Earthshaker as a pos 4 to initiate. So this blink actually, like, I like it a lot. Like,
I mean, it's just enabling the rest of your team.
yeah, exactly. It's like taking it upon himself because he on like maybe he's on the same page as me, but yeah, I like it.
I mean, on the other side of the map, you've got the Centaur going for the presumably pipe rush. Just gonna be the hood for now, but I don't see any reason to not build the full pipe.
Yeah. Actually, if you think about it, the burst from like Shaker and
Radiant structures are
Lich
fortified.
nullified by the pipe. It's pretty good this game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see whether they are able to start fights without a blink dagger while the enemy does have one. Sometimes there can sort of be a big power gap in the initiation potential, and that really does allow one team to set the pace of the game sometimes. But a lot of circumstances do have to end up. I want to say, I mean, you were pointing out during the draft as well, the Radiant are pretty good at sort of receiving aggressive movement, and this is, oh boy.
Ah,
I mean, I don't want to say gangbang, but let's just call it gangbang. That was not even close.
yeah.
Dire's top tower
I mean,
attack.
the three cores from Radiant are
Dire's structures are
quite a fair bit ahead of the three cores in Dire.
Yeah.
Ah,
mean,
that's a hard one
Again,
to
it's
look at.
not insurmountable though. We're only talking 3k overall, which is
Yeah.
significant. Once the towers start falling, you know, you lose a lot of that farming space as well. But 3k in itself is not that big of a deal. Bottom lane, we're gonna see the Stampede used to try and bail out the Juggernaut, but where are you going? There's a Night Stalker and the Storm Spirit chasing you. That's faster than, you know, Stampede, so...
That was a really big kill.
Yeah.
They really needed that. And it
they
was
should
on the
be able to
Storm
take the tower
Spirit too.
here now with that TP
Yeah.
cancelled, so alleviating some pressure on the top lane, letting the Troll Warlord farm right up, going for the Lich mid though, and well, he has absolutely no escape plan here.
But like I said, right, Radiant need less to be able to do the same amount as Dire, and like Dire, they're waiting for their items on their Storm. They're waiting for the blink on the Shaker, and that's already really rough. Like they're getting run over,
Yeah, I mean
and
that's just
they don't
sort of-
have they're waiting for their key items, but they don't really have space to get. Like how are they how do you see the Shaker farming for his dagger when all their towers are going down? Give you salves. And the number of times I find I have salves sitting in my backpack
Thanks you.
from the shovel, it's like it's more than seeing random mangoes in my backpack, because at some point, like maybe it's because mangoes are instantaneous, right? So you just like use them whenever you need mana. Whereas like salves, it's like you can't use it in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, I mean I have had pretty epic salves as something like a Phoenix or a Shadow Demon, where you have a way of, you know, almost guaranteeing a heal. You know, someone with slow attack speeds trying to attack you, and you just pop a salve in their face.
Yeah.
They have no abilities as a Phoenix, or, you know, you salve and then disrupt yourself. But yeah, it's definitely much more limited in utility. The one thing that I do want to point out though is when you have something like Sniper. I've been playing some support Sniper, and you have the CDR talent.
Yeah. Oh, on the shovel.
Yeah.
And you can use it on the shovel.
So you just shovel, and you have an alchemist on your team.
It is so good, actually. Like, if you put it like that, it sounds really good.
But then that's a very narrow number of use cases.
But even getting like a billion TPs seems pretty worth it. Like this 90 gold TP actually.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal initially, but you can feel it. Like some.
Wait till you play a support, and you're on, I don't know, meal ticket. Storm zipping in, blink there from the Night Stalker, pops the ultimate as well. We'll see if they have detection. Looks like they do have one in the river here. Liquid Swords doing the suck, and that will be enough to force away the Night Stalker, pulling him back with that Disruptor. Still not enough to take him down, but the Thunderstrike will do it. Long Chain Frost coming in kind of out of nowhere. He did take out one, so I guess that is worth it, trading his life there, but you are still down your Night Stalker, and I mean, he's your sort of big guy at the moment.
Dire's middle tower
When I saw the storm zip out, I immediately knew that was a... Like, the storm had no mana. Storm's debating, dude. He had no mana to fight, and the rest of his team just started walking in.
Dire's structures are fortified.
But again, you were saying that's just what these heroes do at this point in time.
Can't
You have
really...
an
if you-
Earthshaker who has 450 gold on the way to his Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
The guy
Is a great
the guy offers
Like-
right now a level 1 fish.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, it feels like they're forced. They're feeling a need to fight just because it's nighttime and just because they're behind, which you can kind of understand. But it gets more difficult as the longer it goes.
A little freebies like this are nice. You catch a support while he's warding. You should also know that there is a ward there, and they have been pretty good with the sentries before, so once they get the money, I'm sure that cluster of wards will go down pretty quickly, and obviously the kill itself is one thing, but you're also slowing down the pace of the game, giving your
Yeah.
players a little more space, get those nice neutral items. Grove Bow coming out here I think is pretty good for the Storm Spirit. Vampire Fang's pretty good for the Troll Warlord. Just have to somehow put them on the right heroes. Now we're starting to get a game together here where we're starting to get on the first real items. You've got the Kaya flying in for the Storm. And the farming Yasha here actually for the Troll Warlord, which I do find interesting. It's definitely the superior item for farming, but doesn't do nearly as much as an early Diffusal Blade. So he's sort of said, I don't really want to fight that much early on.
Are scanning.
I just want to hit some creeps. And he has been doing that, admittedly. He's second and last hits just behind the Juggernaut there.
Thinking about like a farming Yasha, what do you think about buying a mom instead of the Yasha? I see it a lot more frequently now, because then it can build into your butterfly satanic.
Yeah, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Mom in general. I do have some bias for that, so yeah, I actually say always go Mom. Especially if you go phase boots.
Yeah, but the Yasha also builds into an SMY, which works too.
I think SNY is an interesting item because it gives you a very specific power spike. But if it's purely damage that you want, there's much better options. If it's purely survivability, then the Satanic is infinitely better. You get more all that foot. Actually, we have this interaction with the Night Stalker. The silence doesn't last long enough for him to take out the Mirana though, and that's even with a DD running.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, that's rough.
I do like seeing this though, the Night Stalker being the one running around with the wards. Definitely during nighttime especially, you can reach a lot of places that the supports normally can't really get to. Does look like it's gonna be a farm sort of thing for a while. Radiant, I don't think they want to fight while it's nighttime.
I
I don't
actually
think the
feel
Dire are
like-
going to be able to really do much.
With
Dire's
that
middle
with
tower
that
is
ward
under
in their
attack.
top jungle from Radiant, I think they could play more aggressively.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that hasn't been taken out yet. I think it was a pretty
Radiant's
obvious
top tower
play
is
for
under
the
attack.
Disruptor to be here. I mean, why else are you going to be there all alone?
Yeah.
Although, you see, we did talk about this before, but you do have the stacks coming in, and that, big Ancient stack, finally the Troll has the ability to clear it out with the lifesteal from the Vampire Fangs provided to him for free, so that should be his Diffusal.
Yeah.
And this is coming just as nighttime is ending, but they didn't actually use the Night Stalker ultimate there. So I
Radiant's
think
middle
in a
tower
way
is
they're sort
under
of
attack.
waiting for a power spike when they want to
How long
actually use
to-
that Night Stalker ultimate instead of expending it to kill a support.
The Shaker's almost got his night 700. That's like another 2-3 minutes.
Arms for the dead.
I would totally echo a big stack as an Nerf Shaker just to get my Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Well, daytime does break, but ironically it's the Moonlight Shadow here now with the Stampede. Omni Slash to secure that kill using 2 ultimates there, but they are able to get one now, looking for 2. Troll Warlord, though, he's just able to walk out of that Static Storm. Juggernaut going crazy right now. Storm Spirit gonna barely dodge that arrow, but the big thing is that they haven't killed the Troll Warlord just yet. And I think he can actually TP on out of here, so there's no way they're gonna kill him. Going for other targets, though, and that Storm Spirit from their strike will expire before the glimpse is back up, so unable to get any of the big core kills. I guess they do get the Night Stalker, which is something, but they expended every single ultimate, literally every single ultimate that they have.
Prize is mine.
Oof. That's a big oof.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, if they get the tower, that's somewhat worth it, but then, you know, what about the punch back? Because now we're talking that Blink Dagger on the Air Shaker, now we're talking the smoke up. The
A
Diffusal as
respawning
well.
storm.
Tower has fallen.
A respawning storm is the scariest storm.
Low HP Centaur Warrunner does have a blink of his own, unable to use it before he gets going on. That is going to be the Darkness popped. Actually, it's not called Darkness anymore, is it? What is it called? Dark Ascension. I mean,
Ascension.
they do get one, and that is, you know, the tanky frontliner, so everyone else here should be easy pickings if they can get onto them.
I guess.
And
Oh,
get onto them we will go. Sari actually going in. Can he take the guy out before the glimpse? No, he cannot.
well, the rest of his
Might have been
team
for the
backed
best if
off.
He got glimpsed back though. That was a bit of a hairy situation potentially if the rest of his team didn't back him up. But nighttime from that Dark Ascension does expire. Now the cooldowns, they are starting to come back for the Radiant as well. But again, still got that Blink Dagger. If you can get level 12 on the Airshake, I believe that's actually a pretty significant, you know, boost for the damage of the Echo. So
Yeah. The storm's going in alone with a regen rune. Scary,
the
scary.
Regen Rune Storm Spirit, it's such a classic bait. Bait yourself. As long as I keep pressing R, I just won't die, and they'll all die, right? But
Yeah.
doesn't always work like that. The best I've seen is the Storm Spirit who cancelled his regen on a Blade Mail, and he wasn't expecting it at all. And you actually have a very similar situation where you could cancel it on the Centaur.
Ah, yeah. That's... The Storm's game is kind of rough. It's 23 minutes in and all he's got is a Kaya. Like, that's hard. It's a really hard game.
At least your Troll Warlord
Radiant's
is
top
pretty
tower is
much
under attack.
fully online. I don't think you can get more online than this, other than maybe the BKB, but you know, who isn't online after BKB?
Yeah.
Storm Spirit zipping out of trouble here. Does have his courier killed, but at least he doesn't get glimpsed back. Looks like the farm game will continue. It's, again, a very similar situation. Why would you want to go when it's daytime for
Yeah.
the Dire? And I don't really know what's holding the Radiant back, but you do know that the Earthshaker has his Blink Dagger. I mean, it's 24 minutes in the game, you better have a Blink Dagger. So there is a bit of caution, but we are starting to see them come together. Now, obviously, they've got pretty much all of their core items, the Blink, the Pipe. Your Razor's got his Diffusal as well. They're feeling kind of strong right now, getting onto the
Let's
Night
pick
Stalker.
up on the Storm
With 50
now.
seconds away from nighttime, you really do not want to fight if you can help it, but if the enemy clumps up just like this, we might be liable to see, well,
Oh.
Earthshaker gets wheeled up instantly down into that side extremity. We'll have to pop the Dark Ascension to try and bail him out, but so far unsuccessful. The Airshifter dies, as well as the Storms before they get really anything done. They're starting to take out some heroes here. The Troll Warlord showing us his power spike. Does get hit by a big arrow, but it doesn't matter. In the end, Fire Panda able to secure that double kill. So they do lose their sort of initiating heroes, but just the raw strength of this Troll Warlord there with his 2-item power spike, and they're still going for more. Those Storms are completely out of mana. This could be a bit risky. The Suck is starting to have him protected now by that shield, doing a very good job actually. Will still go down there to that Urn charge just about, but he does trade his life there for the life.
I think that was really greedy. I think that was greedy. Like if the Storm didn't die there, that would be good, even without the Razor kill.
I mean, the big winner obviously is the last core left alive, the Troll Warlord.
But
that was really, I guess, how do I put it? Prescient positioning there from the Razor, just to be the one to stand in front, break the smoke, get the Yules on the Earthshaker.
Yeah. But even then, like, I wouldn't even say that Shaker's positioning was good. Like, he was just walking up from right in front of them. Literally right in front of them.
Sometimes the most unexpected thing to do is the expected thing, I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's going a lot better for Dire now, because the troll can actually do stuff. So if I were Radiant, I would actually be scared of the troll right now. Like, the only thing you have that can deal with the troll right now is your Razor.
Well, to quote you from almost an hour ago now, you did say, you expect the Radiant to be able to do a lot more for the first 20 minutes, but now that we're past that...
It's getting scary for Dire now. I mean, sorry, not Dire. Well, other side, Radiant.
You've got some pretty nice neutral items coming in as well. Paladin Sword for the Troll. On top of that natural Morbid Mask. And then you factor in the healing from your ultimate. This guy can pretty much, if he's able to continuously hit a low armor target, he will heal up to more than full HP in the duration of his ultimate. Both shrines, both outposts, being grabbed here by the Dire. 3 minutes before the XP tick comes in, so if they can hold on to this for a while, it should be pretty good for them. It is interesting to note, actually, right before that happens, the 5 minutes preceding that are always going to be nighttime. Maybe they can use this, but nighttime does mean the Moonlight Shadow comes out, of course, and, well... Who do they find? But poor Fire Panda, they're actually going to try and go in, counter engage here right onto the Disruptor, silencing him out, but the Omni Slash just takes him out. Big Echo Slam, but it's still not enough. They take out just the Disruptor.
The troll is not there. Their big damage is not there.
I mean, what do you have really without your big damage? You actually got a pretty big Echo. But they were spaced out enough that they only got hit by the echo damage and not by the aftershock. So, it's not really an instant stun. If they did stun him, that would have actually been a decent turnaround, I think. If the Storm can survive, maybe, you have a good chance of turning around that fight, but...
At the end of the day, the fight was still a 4v5. And even though, like... Dire won a pretty big fight to put them in a good position. Like, their big winner wasn't even there. Like, they're still behind, and they're taking a 4v5 fight. That was a pretty...
I can definitely understand what each individual is thinking. It's nighttime. We should do something.
Yeah.
And I have my Blink. I have my Echo. I haven't done anything with my Blink Echo yet, so I want to do something. But then you also have your Troll Warlord who's like, I just want to get my BKB.
Yeah, I think they didn't even have to force that fight. Like, the Lich dying was the best outcome for them.
Yeah.
Because if I were on the Radiant and I smoked and I saw the Lich, I'll be like, can we look for more?
Yeah.
I don't want to smoke and look and get a Lich. I want to smoke and find the Night Stalker, the Storm. Even the
Are you gonna
Shaker.
find the support from the other side? Even using the Stampede actually try and get him out, but that was a Stampede used, right? Yeah, that was the Stampede
Yeah.
used. So you get the opposite scenario happening, but this time the Radiant do not flood in to try and defend their support. Instead, Daytime is just gonna pop there. Both teams will get their EXP from the outposts.
That's a BKB on the Troll right now, I think.
So do you go, even though it's daytime, you have the Dark Ascension.
You're fighting into an Aegis job.
Who's the
always
Aegis on,
hard.
actually?
The jug, isn't it? I might be
Yeah.
wrong. Jug, yeah.
So I'm wondering if you take everyone else out, can you deal with the Juggernaut, 1 versus 5?
I think you could.
You get my point.
I have the slight feeling that if he Omni Slashes into 5 of them, one of them's gonna die. I have that feeling, because RNG, dude.
Radiant structures are fortified.
'Cause I'm just thinking, what other power spikes are you waiting for? How far are we from... Ooh, big arrows
jug-
onto the Storm Spirit. There's no follow-up, and in fact, I mean, Storm Spirit
Oh,
might be a
the
bit
silent?
angry here. We'll be going
What?
back, though,
What?
into the Static Storm, and... I mean, that timing... that timing... And in fact, he might not even get a tower out. He does get the tower there,
Radiant's
but
top tower
it's
has
hardly
fallen.
worth giving up your life, because
That
that's
was
Bloodstone charges as well.
almost such a
Even
big
has
kill.
to use the Bloodstone mana battery. That's a really big cooldown.
Yeah. The jug queued up at BKB. That I never like seeing that. That BKB queue. It's like
But you kind of have to against the Night Stalker, right?
yeah, I'm trying to think what other
else
items
is a
could
solution?
go.
Like, there's literally no other solution to the Night Stalker unless you're gonna build a Force Staff or something.
Hurricane Pike.
Dyer's top tower
Hurricane
has
Fight
fallen.
Juggernaut.
Yeah.
It might still be better than BKB, admittedly. I do see where you're coming
I'm
from.
not gonna lie, like a Shadow Blade?
Oh, yeah,
Radiant's
maybe.
structures are fortified.
Like
Yeah, no, because you build it into the Silver Edge, that's actually pretty significant against the Night Stalker. That's a lot of
Yeah.
capacity. Speaking of BKBs, though, BKB used very defensively there from the Troll Ward. He wants to get something done, and the target will present itself, but what can the man do already? Lost the Night Stalker, he does have buyback. He's getting taken solo, he will die as his ultimate expires.
GG is called?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this like a GG or a GG? Because there's a very big difference.
Yeah.
Looks like
I,
it's just a GG, so...
I think it's a GG.
Yeah.
Dyer's top
The
barracks
Storm Spirit has respawned.
Oh
Not
no, it's
safe
a
for buyback, instead buying out that...
Radiant's middle
it's a
tower
debate
Well,
GG.
yeah, I mean, we'll see if he can actually do it. We'll see if he can actually do it. He gets hit by that Static Storm again. Oh no. And, well, Echo Salam gonna be there to bail him out. Is there enough damage on the Surf Shaker, though? He actually can't get the job done. He
No
cannot
follow-up.
finish the job there, and in fact, Fire Panda... Ooh, my god, that Force Staff nearly backfired.
Dyer's middle
But he does save his Storm Spirit, and I guess maybe that was the only job that did matter. So far, Storm Spirit doing a pretty good job of surviving while dealing damage, but expending the last of his mana there to try and go in, still unable to get the kill onto the second support. Buyback coming out from the Airshake. They do not want to lose 2 full lanes of racks, but really, what can you do here other than throw out the long-range Fisher?
Dyer's middle barracks has fallen.
You've got no Echo.
Radiant's bottom
You don't even have a Smoke Storm Spray going
Ooh,
in.
don't
Once
listen.
again, nice Dual Scepter, though, to break up that damage. Now the suck. Where are you going to go, Mr. Storm? Actually, well, now that the rest of the team is coming in, who can they really take down? Though they're going for the Juggernaut. He's trying to TP out. That's not going to happen. That is the Aegis down. Seri now onto the high ground. They go for the easier targets here. Now you've got the Juggernaut to deal with. Doesn't have his ultimate. He's already used the spin. Can they actually chase the man down? Earthshaker is DC'd, but we're not posing for that. No stop in this action. You've got the Ascension still running for another couple of seconds here, but the stun from the Central Warner looks like that's enough to break things up, even turn things around. He will give up his life for it, but taking out the Storm Spirit is well worth it, as well as saving your Juggernaut. But what have you gotten your Razor into? Can he get out? That is the question. Looks like with Daytime, he will just be fine there. The Night Stalker has had his wings trimmed, and in fact, he might just be going down here. I mean, aggressively forward, and they do get that kill, so not
Yeah,
really the best turn of events for the Dire. They were very close to it being absolutely amazing for them, but it just didn't happen.
I wanted to say that the Shaker was DC throughout almost the entire fight.
I mean, he went in, he actually got a pretty big stun with his totem, right? But then after that, maybe if he was there, they could have killed the Juggernaut, they could have killed the Razor, and it would have all been worth it.
Oh, they're calling GG. Are they?
Right. I mean, GG for reals, I
Dire's middle
guess.
tower is under attack.
Guess so.
Radiant victory.
Alright.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. It didn't look close, but it was.
I think I'm over Dota, I'm well above it, but that last line was a lie. You know I love it when we link up when my Dota buddies breed Draz, Nana, and a TB spammer. Nobody who's mid, who's off, all these long nights. We queue up just to end up losing every fight. We're running through the roche, we're running out of smoke. We always lose with intentions of coming back, right? Damn, we vibe so well and thinking we might just win this fight. I think it's time to remind you that Dom is -2 IQ. Well, that's kind of a trust issue, like the time he threw a rapier to the enemy's face. Why? Cause he felt like Artesio, acted so hard but soft inside like an IO. And you know we lost the game even if we tried to carry his fucking ass, dude.